Eala soars to career-high number 31 in WTA rankings. Eala is now the world's number 31 after climbing a significant 16 spots in the WTA rankings. The WTA website highlighted Eala's rise on its ranking page, which showed Aryna Sabalenka as number 1, the Filipina's 16-spot jump, and US player Alicia Park's 18-spot drop. This comes after Eala competed in the WTA 1000 tournament in Dubai, where she reached the quarterfinals and fell to world's number 4 Coco Gauff 6-0, 6-2 on February 20th. To reach her match against Gauff, Eala bested Hailey Baptiste, who retired due to injury, Jasmine Paolini, and Sorana Sustia. 3 weeks of fighting with love and pride has come to an end here in Dubai, Eala said of her run on February 21st. The competition, the atmosphere, the hospitality, and the full-blown support has made these weeks ones I'll never forget. Thank you. In February, the 20-year-old competed in the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open, where she also reached the quarterfinals until she was defeated by Ekaterina Alexandrova, and the Qatar Open, where she exited early after she was edged out by Teresa Valentova. Eala will next head to the Indian Wells Open in California, where big names like Sabalenka, Iga Swiatek, Elena Rybakina, Gauff, Venus Williams, Emma Raducanu, Jessica Pegula, Naomi Osaka, and more are competing. She's also set to return to the Miami Open, the tournament where she caught attention for defeating Grand Slam champions Swiatek, Yelena Ostapenko, and Madison Keys. The numbers blinked on the screen, simple and unassuming, 31. To most people, it was just another ranking update in the ever-turning machinery of professional tennis. But to Eala, to the nation that had watched her swing a racket taller than herself, to every young athlete who dared to dream beyond geography and expectation, 31 was a summit carved from years of sweat, sacrifice, and stubborn belief. It was not merely a number. It was altitude. Long before the ranking became official, before analysts dissected her forehand angles and commentators praised her composure, there was a little girl in Manila with a fierce gaze and restless feet. The courts were hot, the air thick with humidity, and the sound of bouncing tennis balls echoed against concrete walls. She was small, but her ambition was not. Every champion begins as a question. Can I belong here? For Alex, the question was heavier. Tennis greatness had long been associated with traditional powerhouses, countries with established academies, generations of champions, and infrastructure built for excellence. The Philippines, passionate about sport but rarely spotlighted in global tennis conversations, was not expected to produce a contender who could climb into the elite tiers of the Women's Tennis Association. But expectation has never been the ceiling for those willing to climb. Her journey unfolded like a carefully constructed rally. Junior titles came first, proof that her talent was not confined to local courts. International tournaments tested her resilience. Every match abroad was a lesson. New surfaces, new opponents, new pressures. She absorbed them all. Training meant leaving comfort behind. It meant homesickness, long hours refining footwork, building strength, sharpening strategy. It meant waking up, knowing that talent alone would never be enough. The modern game demands power, speed, intelligence, adaptability. She cultivated them piece by piece. And still, progress in professional tennis is rarely linear. There were early exits. There were matches that slipped away by a break of serve, by a tiebreak that tilted the wrong direction. There were injuries and whispers from critics who wondered if the leap from promising junior to elite professional was simply too wide. But Alex had learned early that growth often hides inside disappointment. Each loss became a blueprint. Each setback revealed a weakness to fortify. Her serve grew heavier, more precise. Her backhand, already a weapon, became a statement. Her movement sharpened into something electric, gliding across hard courts and clay alike with controlled urgency. What set her apart, though, was not merely technique. It was composure. Even against higher-ranked opponents, Her expression rarely betrayed doubt. She studied them, adjusted mid-match, shifted patterns like a chess player moving pieces several turns ahead. Gradually, the wins accumulated. The season that propelled her to number 31 did not arrive in a single explosion of triumph. It was built across months of disciplined consistency. Quarterfinals that once felt like breakthroughs became expectations. Semifinals followed, then finals. Her name began appearing regularly in tournament draws beside established stars. Commentators stopped introducing her as up-and-coming and began describing her as a legitimate threat. She defeated seeded players who had once seemed untouchable. She saved match points with fearless shot-making. She held her nerve in third-set battles that stretched both stamina and spirit. Rankings points ticked upward, almost quietly at first. The climb from outside the top 100 to the top 50 had been demanding. Breaking into the top 40 required something more, belief that she was no longer chasing the elite, but standing among them. And then, as if carried on the momentum of her own relentless ambition, she rose again. Number 31. Career high. History woven into digits. In the Philippines, celebrations rippled far beyond tennis circles. News outlets flashed headlines. Social media erupted with pride. Young athletes watched highlights of her matches, seeing in her not just a champion but a mirror. Representation matters. When Alex stepped onto global courts, she carried more than a racket. She carried a flag stitched into her identity. Each victory expanded what seemed possible for Filipino athletes in sports historically dominated by other nations. Children began picking up rackets with renewed curiosity. Parents spoke her name as proof that dreams need not be geographically limited. Sports academies felt a surge of inspiration. The impact of a ranking cannot always be measured in statistics. Sometimes, it is measured in belief. For Alex herself, however, number 31 was not a destination. It was a checkpoint. Professional tennis is relentless. Rankings fluctuate. A few early tournament exits can undo months of climbing. Maintaining a position inside the top 50 demands consistency against opponents who have studied your patterns and prepared counterstrategies. But if her journey has revealed anything, it is that she thrives under challenge. At number 31, she stands on the threshold of even greater possibilities. Grand Slam seedings inch closer. Deeper tournament runs become more attainable. The top 20 no longer feels like a distant fantasy but a visible horizon. Her game continues to evolve. Analysts note her improved serve placement, her ability to redirect pace, her growing comfort finishing points at the net. Physically stronger, mentally sharper, she carries herself with the assurance of someone who understands she belongs. Yet humility remains her quiet companion. In interviews, she often redirects praise toward her team, her family, her supporters. She speaks of hard work, of process, of focusing on the next match rather than the numbers beside her name. That mindset may be her greatest advantage. There is a particular beauty in watching an athlete rise, not in a